I'm basically a valuer of land and building, so whatever I present to you is through this narrow spectacle or prism of land and building valuation, because that is my limitation. Maybe what I say is applicable to people who are valuers of other class of assets also. Second caveat is I'm a very ordinary valuer. Nothing great to tell you, so don't expect any superhuman or supersonic or whatever from me. I'm one of you. This is a valuation of an ordinary guy for ordinary valuers, right? Big clap for us. Big clap for us. The clap should be so loud that even Serene should be like, jealous of me. Yeah. So let us start where we started as valuers of real estate. The point which I'm trying to make here, that we are very, in the big gamut of things, we are very small. Normally as a valuer, if you ask me, Mahendra, what type of valuations you have done, you talk to me, ask you, have you done any valuations running into hundreds of crores, thousands of crores, lakhs of crores? No, I've done nothing of such sort. Very few, if at all I did, which ran into hundreds of crores. Very few. Previously, we used to do valuations which only ran into lakhs of rupees. Now, sometimes we do valuations which are normally more than 1 crore of rupees. Time will come when we will also do valuations which will be more than 100 crores of rupees. Times are changing. But the most important thing is that an economy, a nation, is not only big companies. It's us ordinary people. So people have got a lot of aspirations. This is a rising society, aspirational society. People want to buy things. Small, micro-sized businesses want to raise loan against properties to start their operations. So they've got big plans for future. They've got big aspirations. But what they're pledging, what they're asking for, a small family wants to move into a bigger premises. Somebody wants to construct a bungalow. I mean, companies want to raise finance against their properties by pledging these properties. So what happens is, these are ordinary people. The majority of the nation is these people. When these people want to raise loans and raise finances, they ultimately come to us. And it is we, the ordinary valuers, drive the economy. So once again, a big clap to us. Yeah? So with this, let me start. If we looked in the past, how the profession started and where was the turning point? The economy got liberated in 1991. Before that, it was all socialistic and, very difficult to raise loans. Aspirations were low. The society was down. Indians went down and out. But because of certain things in 1991, the scene changed and the economy got liberalized. Now, today we are standing in 2023. And if you look at most of the senior valuers here, we were fortunate enough to be present at that particular point in time when the economy got liberated and people started to get access to easy home loans to buy properties. And the banks said, we can finance these people because government was encouraging housing for poor. Banks said, we can finance these people, but we are not equipped to value the properties which they are buying. So we want a third-party entity to guide us and tell us how to go about it. And that is where we started to become associates of the banks on their panel to value these properties. And the housing boom started. And we have got a big role which we have played in this housing boom. And when this housing boom started in early 2000s, 2000, 2001, like that, the seniors amongst us were there to fuel this boom. We did our work diligently. We prepared our reports diligently. Millions of people were able to build their houses. Millions of micro and small organizations were, ready, and they got finances to start their operations because of the work we did, right? So we have played a great part in the rise of modern India. And I will show you the statistics, and that is why, because of this boom, most of us who are present here derive major income from the valuations which we do for bank. This is the historical reason. So if we look at the history, okay, if we look at 1991, the outstanding housing loan was only 7,419 crores. In 2001, when really the economy started to boom, it was 1,05,000 crores. This is just outstanding housing loan. Look at 2021, 37 lakh crores of rupees. 37 times jump in 21 years or 20 years. Today it will be much more. And if you look at the graph is going all in exponential direction. So this is going to get better and better for ordinary people. This is going to get better and better for us ordinary valuers. And we are going to contribute more and more toward the rise of new India and a new nation. So, but this is becoming like, this is great role which we have played in the nation building, also is becoming a sort of a limitation wherein it limits us only to doing the valuation for banks and secure lending. So what are the options which are available to us? And time has come for us to explore this, because banks have now realized after 2 decades that there are very few numbers of banks, and there are thousands and thousands of valuers who are depending on them, and they are now, putting up a predatory pricing and pressures and whatnot, and our fees are, getting squeezed all the time. So it is time for us ordinary valuers to look at the new avenues which are available to us, which we can, try out and try to, see that we can do something more than just secured lending valuation. Yeah. So let me read out some of the valuations which we could do. Valuations under Companies Act, Indian Accounting Standards, Fair Valuation Estimation, which is an exit value, property, plant and equipment, investment of property, impairment of assets, valuation under IBC, NCLT. I don't know, something wrong with this slide. Okay, so this is just some of the avenues which we could try. Then there are some things we could try more also. Okay, we can try valuation for tax reporting. This is a major source of revenue which we could derive. How many of you are doing valuation for tax purposes? I find that not even 15%. So this is an avenue which you should think of. We can do valuation for capital gains. Capital gains comes under section 45 to 55 of Income Tax Act. There are various, sections and the rules there too, which we can explore. It's a very good source of income. The recent phenomena or the recent change which happened is in 2017, the base year got shifted from 1981 to 2001. And because of that, the quantum of work which is required under capital gains has increased substantially. So we can definitely think of this as one of the options. And let me tell you, when you do a valuation for tax purpose, the fees which you get paid are quite substantial compared to the fees which you get normally from a financial institution, right? Then you can think of section 50C. Again, let me not go into detail. This is also, part of capital gains only, but in a different way. Section 50CA and section 56(2), which deals with, valuation of unlisted shares. But you would say that this has to be done by chartered accountant, but then inputs from valuers of land and building is also required in this. So we can also think of section 50CA and section 56(2), which is, income from other sources. And the rules which govern this valuation are Rule 11UA, 11UAA, 11UAE. So these are the options which are open to us. And the new one, which is, discussed by Kanaga Sabapati, which could be a, harbinger of new things to come, would be section 132 of Income Tax Act, powers of search and seizure. We are hearing all the time, ED is taking stringent action against this group, that group, whatnot. And there we talk about thousands and thousands of crores worth of properties. So there we could step in, and there we could, get this, big jobs which come our way, and we could now graduate to the next level of valuation. We could also represent our clients in front of valuation officer. Then there is this black money and imposition of tax 2015. We can empanel ourselves under there. Other avenues, if I could, transaction support, people want to buy or sell, they would want to go to valuer to find out what is the market value. Then we give them the definition of market value as per IVSC, and then we tell them this is the value. Obviously, willing buyer, willing seller, arm's length transaction, proper marketing, no coercion, all these things will come into play. Land acquisition. Previously, we used to do a lot under the old Land Acquisition Act, but under the new Land Acquisition Act, the requirement of services from valuer has come down, but still, we could do probate, family partition, divorce, visa. Divorce also is there, so sad, but then the valuer services are required. When family partition comes, it is almost like an arbitration. And our role is quite high in the sense we not only divide the property, supposing there are 3 siblings or 3 partners and to be divided equally into 3, it may not be possible to exactly divide 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So not only we divide close to 1/3, but we also give a sort of a judgment which is called as overlty payment, which gives us a sense of importance, wherein we tell this person, okay, this is the partition, you are getting more, so you have to pay 20 lakhs to this person. So these sort of things we do, and our role not only becomes a valuation, but a sort of an arbitrator also. Then we give litigation support. We can do valuation for insurance. Nowadays, I see that so many companies come to us, like corporates, asking me, do the valuation of this particular building, immovable asset, so that I can do market value policy or reinstatement value policy with the insurance company. This used to never happen before. Now they have also understood these concepts of market value policy, reinstatement value policy. They would want to go to a registered valuer under Companies Act and get the valuation done so that they can buy a proper insurance policy. This is a big field which is opening for us. Then we appear before the sub-registrar's office or the collector when the registered document shows a value which is less than the prescribed guideline value because of certain reasons. Because the property could be next to the cemetery, because the property could be next to a river which when it's in spate in monsoons breaks the banks and submerges his property. So the value is less, registered value is less than the guideline value. Services of a value are required to represent the client in front of the registration authorities. So this we can explore. Then we do valuation for SEBI, REITs, and infrastructure investment trusts. We can also do valuation for mean profit when a property is illegally occupied by some person and we have to quantify the compensation which has to be paid to the party which was aggrieved, right? Then we do something which is called as asset price allocation, wherein what happens is a company buys another company for 100 crores lump sum. They do not say how much is the value of the land. They do not say how much is the value of the building. And so we just come into picture. I don't know, this is going reverse. Okay, so they want to know what is the value of the land or value of the building so that they can decide what is the goodwill. So the goodwill can be also amortized. So we may not know how the company was, the price was decided, but then they would come to us to value the land and the building, right? They would come to us to value the equipment, plant, whatever, and then they will decide what was the value of the goodwill, and then they will amortize it, right? Now, this is one of the most important things which could be opening to us. Our greatest strength is our expertise as a valuer, the domain knowledge. The domain knowledge. Now, this is something which nobody can take from us. Let there be the best of the best computer programmer. Let there be the best of the best AI. At the moment, they cannot replace our domain knowledge. And we can, really speaking, we can, leverage this. So there are, very complex situations which are now arising in our life as a valuer. There are so many valuers. There are so many variables. And they interact with each other, and they can, affect the value in different ways. So we have to come up with, a certain valuation model. And that can be done only by us when we are doing certain valuation exercise because of our domain knowledge. We not only look at these variables, we look at the rules and regulations which has an impact on the entire development. We come up with a valuation model. And if we are good enough to have some exposure to some programming language and we know the syntax of it, then we can come up with, even with an algorithm. We can even come up with an algorithm, or we can ask some programmer to come up with the program. Normally speaking, once we construct a model, with our knowledge, we can go to a spreadsheet and we can do the work which was required to be done. So here, in future, lot of work can come to us as valuers who have got a great expertise and domain to come up with valuation models, right? I'm just winding up. So these are some of the more other things which we could do. We can do online, offline search for others if they want our services. We can do a lot of things. We can also come up with physical inspections for others who are not in our place, where they want our services to do such work. And now new age tools which are at our disposal are like Google Street View, which got introduced in July of last year in India. Then there is also something called geo mapping, which apps we download on our which app we download on our camera, and we just take a click, and then we get the geo mapping. All these things and all these tools we can use. Now, coming to the best part of it, we are at a very, very good position. Sir, last 1 minute. We are at a very, very good position. I can tell you, I am now 61. What India was in early 1990s, what it was in 2000, what it was in 2010, what it was in 2020, and what we are now is something which is there in front of my eyes. So we can definitely say that our time has come. Our time has come, the momentum is there. We are almost a 4 trillion economy. As of June this year, we were 3.75 trillion economy in dollar terms. This is nominal, and we were the 5th largest in the world. Only Japan, Germany, China, and United States are ahead of us. Look at the United States number. It is 26.9 trillion ton now, and we are about 3.75. We could be 4 trillion within next few months. That is for sure. And it is the Reserve Bank of India's submission that we will be a 5 trillion economy by 2027. This has been said by the Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India very recently. So we are going to be 5 trillion economy in 2027. We were only like, a few billions some years back. And now the government is planning for Amrit Kal. I told you, American economy 26.9 trillion today. But what we are planning is phenomenal. 100 years of independence in another few years, maybe another 23, 24 years. Government plans to make us a 30 trillion economy. We will be bigger than the size of American economy today. Remember this. Look at the opportunity which is going to lie ahead of us. Last 20 years have been nothing. Coming 20 years will be supersonic for us. Mach 5, if we can say so. And not only this, we are 1.4 billion today, our top population of 1.61 billion. The biggest population any country has ever achieved in history or will ever achieve in history will be in 2047, and that will be India. We will be 1.61 billion of us. Huge, huge opportunity for us. From there on, our population will start to go down. From 2047 onwards, our population will start to go down. The reproduction rate of our females have already touched below the replacement level. There's a good sign. But still, for the next 20 years, we'll keep on growing. So I don't think any country in the world will ever reach this stage. Nobody has ever reached this stage in history, and nobody, if I can say so, will ever reach this stage in future. If you ask me, I don't know if you read the headline, in Italy, no child has been born for last 3 months. Can you believe this? So this is what it is. So we should be future ready, and this is where I wind up. Thank you so much.